You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not missing motivation. You are simply obeying a mind that was never trained to do hard things. This audiobook will show you one truth. Hard things do not get done by feeling ready. They get done by building control over your mind. Psychology proves this. Discipline confirms it. Your life depends on it. If you can force yourself to act when comfort begs you to stop, you will outgrow the version of yourself that keeps failing. This is not inspiration. This is instruction. And it starts now. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are unreliable. That single fact explains why most people never do the hard things they say they want to do. They wait. They hesitate. They delay. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I feel motivated." And that moment rarely comes. Here is the truth you must accept immediately. Emotion is not a command. Your feelings do not decide your future. Your discipline does. That's the key. Most people live as emotional employees. They wait for their feelings to clock in before they start working. When motivation shows up, they act. When it disappears, they stop. And motivation always disappears. You have a choice. You can keep obeying emotions that change by the hour. Or you can learn to act without their permission. You don't need their permission. Motivation feels powerful when it's present. It feels like energy, like clarity, like confidence. But motivation is chemically temporary. Psychology proves this. It's driven by dopamine. And dopamine spikes, then crashes. That means if you build your life around motivation, you are building on something unstable. That's why people start strong and quit quietly. They join the gym with excitement. They buy the books. They watch the videos. They talk about change. Then the emotion fades. And when emotion fades, they stop. Not because they are weak, but because they were trained to wait. Emotion is not a command. Look at people who actually win. Athletes who train every day. Entrepreneurs who build through failure. Writers who produce when no one is watching. They don't feel motivated most days. They feel tired. They feel bored. They feel resistance. And they act anyway. That's the difference. They don't ask, "How do I feel today?" They ask, "What must be done?" It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. That's the key. Psychology calls this behavioral activation. You act first. The emotion follows. Your brain learns through action, not intention. When you move your body, your brain adjusts. When you take action, your mind catches up. This is not opinion. This is how human behavior works. Action creates motivation. Never the other way around. Say that again in your mind. Action creates motivation. Never the other way around. Waiting for motivation is a form of avoidance. It feels responsible, but it's disguised fear. Fear of discomfort. Fear of effort. Fear of failing without an excuse. When you wait for motivation, you give yourself permission not to act. You have a choice. Either you decide that action is non-negotiable, or you accept a life controlled by moods. And moods will betray you. Here is what successful people do differently. They remove the decision. They don't wake up and debate. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't say, "Should I?" They say, "This is what I do." That's the key. Discipline begins where debate ends. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation. You don't wait to feel inspired. You do it because it's part of who you are. That's discipline. And discipline is not heroic. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's reliable. And that's why it works. Most people think discipline means being harsh. It doesn't. It means being clear. Clear standards. Clear rules. clear expectations for yourself. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act. Emotion is not a command. Here is a practical shift you must make. Stop asking, "How do I feel?" Start asking, "What is the next required action?" One action. Not the whole journey. Just the next step. Your brain can tolerate action. It resists imagination. When you imagine the entire process, you feel overwhelmed. When you focus on the next action, you feel capable. That's psychology. That's the key. Let's be honest. You already know what you need to do. You don't need more information. You need execution. You need to stop waiting for a feeling that may never arrive. You have a choice. You can obey discomfort, or you can train yourself to move through it. Every time you act without motivation, you rewire your identity. You prove to yourself, "I don't need to feel good to do what's right." That builds confidence. Real confidence. Not emotional hype. Behavioral evidence. Proof beats promises. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness waits. Discipline acts. Weakness explains. Discipline executes. Weakness says, "I'll start tomorrow." Discipline says, "I start now." It's not about energy. It's about standards. That's the key. Let me be very clear. Motivation is not something you chase. It's something you generate. And you generate it through movement. Stand up. Start. Do something uncomfortable. Then watch what happens. Your body follows. Your mind adjusts. Your emotion aligns. Action creates motivation. Never the other way around. You don't need their permission. Not your friends. Not your families. Not your own emotions. Your life is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to act. You have a choice. Here is your instruction for this chapter. Choose one task you've been avoiding. But do not prepare. Do not optimize. Do not overthink. Start it cold. No motivation. No hype. No countdown. Just action. That's discipline in its purest form. The people who win are not special. They are trained. They train themselves to move without motivation. They train themselves to act despite resistance. And that training starts here. You've learned the first rule. Stop waiting. Emotion is not a command. You don't rise when you feel good. You rise when you act anyway. That lesson locks in everything that follows. Because once you stop waiting for motivation, you are ready to understand the real enemy. Comfort. You've broken the illusion of motivation. Now it's time to face the force that keeps you stuck. Chapter 2. Your brain is designed to avoid discomfort. Your brain is not broken. It is functioning exactly as designed. That's the first truth you must understand. Your brain was not built to make you successful. It was built to keep you alive. And survival does not require greatness. It requires comfort. It requires safety. It requires energy conservation. Say this clearly in your mind. Your brain wants comfort, not success. That's the key. Thousands of years ago, this wiring saved lives. Energy was scarce. Danger was real. Rest meant survival. The brain learned one rule. Avoid unnecessary effort. That rule is still running today. But your environment has changed. Your brain has not. Now food is abundant. Threats are minimal. Comfort is everywhere. And the same survival system that once protected you now quietly sabotages you. You have a choice. You can obey this outdated wiring, or you can train yourself to override it. You don't need its permission. Psychology calls this comfort bias. The brain prefers what is familiar, what is easy, what requires the least effort. That's why scrolling feels easier than thinking. Why quitting feels better than pushing. Why distraction beats discipline. It's not about laziness. It's about programming. But programming can be rewritten. That's the key. Your brain constantly asks one question. How can I save energy? Not, how can I grow? Not, how can I improve? Energy conservation is its priority. That's why starting feels heavy. That's why resistance shows up before progress. That's why the first step feels harder than the 10th. Your brain is trying to protect its resources. And protection feels like resistance. Here's the mistake most people make. They interpret resistance as a signal to stop. They think, if this feels hard, something must be wrong. Nothing is wrong. Discomfort is not danger. Say it again. Discomfort is not danger. That's the key. Modern comfort has hijacked ancient instincts. Your brain cannot tell the difference between real threats and perceived discomfort. Cold showers feel dangerous. Hard conversations feel risky. Focused work feels threatening. Not because they are harmful, but because they require effort. Effort feels like loss to the brain. So it pushes back. You have a choice. You can obey that pushback. Or you can train yourself to move through it. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness listens to comfort. Discipline listens to standards. Weakness says, this feels uncomfortable. Discipline says, that's irrelevant. It's not about fear. It's about discipline. That's the key. Let's be very clear. Your brain will always offer you the easier option. Boys. Sleep instead of train. Scroll instead of think. Quit instead of endure. Not because you should, but because it's efficient. Efficiency is survival logic. Growth is not. Growth requires intentional resistance. This is why successful people look abnormal. They do things that feel wrong to the brain. They wake early. They train when tired. They work when bored. They don't feel comfortable. They feel controlled. Control beats comfort. That's the key. Here's the psychological shift you must make. Stop treating discomfort as a warning. Start treating it as a signal. A signal that you are doing something that matters. If it feels uncomfortable, you are likely moving in the right direction. Comfort rarely builds anything meaningful. Your brain learns through exposure. The more you face discomfort, the less power it has. This is called habituation. The first time is loud. The second time is quieter. The third time is manageable. Eventually, what once felt impossible becomes routine. Not because it got easier, but because you got trained. That's discipline. Most people never allow this process to happen. They quit too early. They retreat at the first sign of resistance. So the brain never adapts. And the discomfort remains permanent. You have a choice. Face it now. Or carry it forever. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop seeking comfort as a reward for effort. Stop structuring your life around ease. Stop believing comfort equals happiness. Comfort numbs. Discipline builds. That's the key. Here's what you must start doing. Start choosing controlled discomfort daily. Intentional. Non-negotiable. Cold exposure. Focused work blocks. Physical exertion. Silence. These are not punishments. They are training tools. They teach your brain a new rule. Discomfort is survivable. And once the brain learns that, its resistance weakens. You don't need their permission. Not society's. Not culture's. Not your own brain's. Your brain is a tool, not a master. And tools must be trained. Let me say this slowly. Your brain will never volunteer for discomfort. It must be commanded. That's discipline. Not aggression. Not anger. Command. Consistent. That's the key. Every time you override comfort, you build authority over yourself. Every time you choose effort, you shrink the power of resistance. This is how discipline is built. Not through motivation, through repetition. You are not here to feel good all the time. You are here to become capable. Capability comes from doing what your brain resists. That's not a flaw. That's the path. So remember this lesson. Your brain wants comfort, not success. It always will. You don't eliminate that wiring. You outgrow it. Through discipline. Through action. Through repetition. You have a choice. You now understand the real source of resistance. Not fear. Not laziness. Survival wiring in a comfort-rich world. That insight changes everything. Because once you stop blaming yourself, you can start training yourself. And that leads directly to the next truth. Knowing why resistance exists is not enough. You must learn how to build strength against it. You've exposed the wiring. Now it's time to reprogram it. Chapter 3. Discipline is a skill, not a personality. Most people believe a lie. They believe disciplined people are born different. Stronger. More focused. More driven. They look at someone consistent and say, that's just who they are. That belief destroys progress before it starts. Because if discipline is a personality, then you either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, you quit before you try. Here's the truth. Discipline is not a personality. Discipline is a skill. That's the key. Skills are learned. Skills are trained. Skills are built through repetition. No one is born knowing how to lift heavy weight. No one is born knowing how to focus for hours. No one is born resilient. They train. And what you repeat, you become. Say that again. What you repeat, you become. Psychology is clear on this. Behavior changes identity, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel disciplined. You act disciplined, and the identity follows. Most people reverse the order. They wait to become disciplined before they act. That day never comes. You have a choice. Wait for a personality shift that won't happen. Or build discipline the way skills are built. You don't need their permission. Think of discipline like a muscle. Weak muscles are not a moral failure. They are untrained. And untrained muscles fatigue quickly. The first time you lift a weight, it feels heavy, awkward, uncomfortable. That doesn't mean lifting is not for you. It means you are new. Discipline works the same way. The first time you force yourself to act, it feels painful, clumsy, unnatural. That's not proof you can't do it. That's proof you're training. That's the key. Undisciplined people are not broken. They are unconditioned. Conditioning comes from repetition. Small acts, done consistently. Even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Here's where most people fail. They try to be disciplined at everything at once. They overhaul their entire life. Change sleep. Change diet. Change work. Change mindset. And they collapse. Not because they lack discipline, but because they overloaded the system. Discipline grows progressively, just like strength. You don't lift the maximum on day one. You build capacity. That's psychology. That's biology. That's the key. Let's talk about conditioning. Your brain learns patterns. Whatever you repeat becomes familiar. Whatever is familiar becomes easier. Whatever is easier becomes automatic. That's how habits form. And habits are discipline on autopilot. But the beginning is never automatic. The beginning is forced. You force the reps, until the reps no longer require force. What you repeat, you become. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness looks at effort and backs away. Discipline looks at effort and leans in. Weakness says, this is too hard. Discipline says, this is training. It's not about talent. It's about conditioning. That's the key. Stop telling yourself the story, "I'm just not disciplined." That sentence trains helplessness. Replace it with truth. "I'm not trained yet." Yet matters. Because skills are acquired. Here is what you must stop doing. Stop comparing your early stage to someone else's trained state. Stop labeling yourself as lazy, weak, or unfocused. Those labels become identity. And identity controls behavior. You have a choice. Speak weakness into existence. Or train strength through action. Here is what you must start doing. Pick one disciplined behavior. Not 10. Not everything. One action you can repeat daily. It could be waking up on time. Starting work without delay. Training for 10 minutes. Writing one page. Repeatable. You repeat it no matter how you feel. That's discipline training. Your emotions will resist. Your brain will complain. That doesn't matter. Emotion is not a command. Skill is built through repetition, not comfort. That's the key. Every repetition sends a message to your brain. This is who we are. And your brain adapts. Neurons that fire together wire together. Psychology proves this. Consistency rewires identity. This is why discipline looks effortless from the outside. You are seeing the result of training, not the beginning. You didn't see the resistance, the struggle, the early failures. You're only seeing the outcome. And you mistake outcome for personality. That mistake keeps you stuck. Let me say this clearly. If discipline were a personality, it could not be taught. But it is taught. Every day. Through action. Military training proves it. Athletic training proves it. Skill mastery proves it. Structure builds discipline. Repetition builds discipline. Standards build discipline. You don't need their permission. Not society's belief. Not your past failures. Not your current mood. You can train discipline today. Right now. Through one action. Here's a rule you must adopt. Never judge yourself by how you feel. Judge yourself by what you repeat. Feelings fluctuate. Repetition compounds. What you repeat, you become. That's the key. Let's be honest. You already repeat things daily. Scrolling. Avoiding. Delaying. Those repetitions trained your current results. No judgment. Just awareness. Awareness gives you control. Now redirect repetition. Not perfectly. Consistently. Miss a day? Return the next. No drama. No shame. Discipline is built through return. Weakness quits when it breaks rhythm. Discipline restores rhythm immediately. That's the difference. This chapter is not about motivation. It's about mechanics. Skills are built. Muscles are trained. Discipline is conditioned. And conditioning is neutral. It doesn't care who you were. Only what you repeat. So remember this lesson. Stop treating discipline like a trait. Start treating it like a skill. Train it. Stress it. Repeat it. What you repeat, you become. That truth unlocks everything that follows. Because once you know discipline is trainable, you stop making excuses. And once excuses die, action begins. You've removed the myth. Now it's time to face the consequence of avoiding discipline. Because avoidance always has a cost. You've learned how discipline is built. Now you must understand what avoidance takes from you. Chapter 4. The cost of avoidance is always higher. Avoidance feels harmless in the moment. It feels small, temporary, justified. I'll do it later. Not today. I'm not ready. Those sentences feel safe. But here is the truth you must face. Avoidance never removes pain. It only delays it. And pain delayed is pain multiplied. That's the key. Your brain loves avoidance because it offers immediate relief. Skip the workout and discomfort disappears. Avoid the conversation and tension fades. Ignore the task and pressure lifts. For a moment, psychology calls this negative reinforcement. You remove discomfort and your brain rewards you. That reward trains the habit. Avoid once and your brain learns the pattern. Avoid twice and the pattern strengthens. Avoid long enough and avoidance becomes identity. You have a choice. Interrupt this loop now, or live inside it later. Avoidance always collects interest. What you don't face today returns tomorrow. With more weight, health avoided becomes illness. Money avoided becomes debt. Truth avoided becomes distance. Discipline avoided becomes regret. Pain delayed is pain multiplied. Say it again. Pain delayed is pain multiplied. Let's start with health. Skipping one workout feels insignificant. Ignoring one meal choice feels minor. Postponing sleep feels manageable. But health doesn't break suddenly. It erodes quietly. The body keeps score. Small neglects compound into chronic problems. And eventually, the pain you avoided demands payment with interest. It's not about genetics. It's about discipline. That's the key. Now look at money. Avoiding budgeting feels easier than facing numbers. Avoiding saving feels easier than saying no. Avoiding learning feels easier than effort. But money avoidance doesn't stay small. It becomes anxiety, then stress, then limitation. You don't wake up broke. You drift there. And the pain arrives all at once. Pain delayed is pain multiplied. Relationships work the same way. Avoid the difficult conversation. Avoid setting boundaries. Avoid honesty. Silence feels peaceful. But silence grows resentment. Unspoken truths turn into distance. Distance turns into loss. You didn't avoid pain. You postponed it. And when it arrives, it's heavier. The most dangerous cost of avoidance is self-respect. Every time you avoid what you know you should do, you send yourself a message. I can't trust myself. That message repeats. And repetition becomes belief. What you repeat, you become. Avoidance doesn't just create problems. It creates an identity. That's the key. Psychology is clear on this. Your brain tracks congruence. When actions match values, confidence grows. When actions contradict values, self-trust erodes. Avoidance breaks alignment, and broken alignment feels like anxiety, guilt, and frustration. Not because you're weak, but because you know better. You have a choice. Restore alignment through action, or live with the noise of avoidance. Here's the lie avoidance tells you. This will be easier later. It never is. Tasks don't get easier with time. Bodies don't get healthier with neglect. Problems don't shrink when ignored. They grow silently, patiently, until they force your attention. Pain delayed is pain multiplied. That's the key. Let's be very clear. Discipline creates short-term discomfort for long-term freedom. Avoidance creates short-term comfort for long-term suffering. That is the trade. And every day, you choose one. You have a choice. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness chooses relief now. Discipline chooses peace later. Weakness avoids the hard moment. Discipline confronts it. Weakness says, I'll deal with it someday. Discipline says, I deal with it now. It's not about fear. It's about discipline. Most people don't avoid because they can't act. They avoid because acting threatens comfort. Comfort feels like safety. But comfort without discipline becomes a cage. And cages don't look dangerous at first. They feel familiar. Here is what you must stop doing. Stop minimizing avoidance. Stop calling it rest, timing, or intuition when you know it's fear. Stop negotiating with a voice that says, later is fine. Later is expensive. Here is what you must start doing. Start treating avoidance as a warning signal. When you feel the urge to delay, first, ask one question. What is this costing me if I don't act? Not emotionally, practically. Money, self-respect. That awareness cuts through excuses. That's the key. Now, take the smallest corrective action. Not everything. Just one step. Send the message. Do the set. Open the document. Have the conversation. Action shrinks fear. Avoidance grows it. Psychology proves this. Exposure reduces anxiety. Avoidance inflates it. You don't need their permission. Not your past. Not your mood. Not your fear. You need commitment. Commitment to face discomfort early, so it doesn't dominate you later. Let me say this clearly. The pain you avoid today becomes the pain you must endure tomorrow. And tomorrow's pain is always heavier. Pain delayed is pain multiplied. That truth should change how you act. This chapter is not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. You are paying a cost already. The only question is whether you choose the payment now or let it grow. You have a choice. When you choose discipline, you pay once. When you choose avoidance, you pay daily. That's the difference. That's the key. So lock this lesson in. Avoidance is not neutral. It is expensive. Every hard thing avoided creates harder things ahead. Face discomfort early. Act while the problem is small. Protect your self-respect. Because discipline today prevents suffering tomorrow. You've seen the cost of avoidance. Now you must understand what truly drives action. Because once you face pain directly, the next step is to shape who you believe you are. You've learned what avoidance takes from you. Now it's time to control what shapes your behavior. Chapter 5. Identity controls behavior. You don't do what you want. You do what you believe you are. That is the rule most people never see. They think behavior comes from motivation, or discipline, or willpower. But behavior comes from identity. And identity is powerful. Say this clearly in your mind. You don't rise to goals, you fall to identity. That's the key. Look at your life honestly. You don't try to act like yourself. You just do. You don't debate whether to behave like you. It's automatic. That's identity at work. Your habits, your standards, your effort level, they all flow from the story you tell yourself about who you are. And until that story changes, your behavior will keep returning to the same level. You have a choice. Change the story, or keep repeating the outcome. Psychology confirms this. Humans are driven by self-consistency. Your brain is constantly trying to act in ways that match your self-image. If you see yourself as not disciplined, your brain will sabotage disciplined actions. If you see yourself as someone who quits, quitting will feel natural. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is protecting identity. That's the key. This is why goals fail. People set goals that conflict with identity. They say, I want to be fit. But they see themselves as someone who doesn't train. I want to be successful. But they see themselves as someone who avoids discomfort. When action threatens identity, vanity wins. Every time. You don't rise to goals, you fall to identity. Here's the mistake most people make. They try to think their way into a new identity. Affirmations, visualizations, positive talk. None of that works without action. Identity is not built by words. It's built by evidence. Your brain believes what you prove. That's the key. If you want to change who you are, You must change what you repeatedly do. Not dramatically, not perfectly, but consistently. Small actions are powerful because they don't trigger identity defense. Forcing a small action says to your brain, "This is still me," and repetition turns that action into proof. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness waits for confidence before acting. Discipline acts to create confidence. Weakness asks, "Who am I to do this?" Discipline says, "This is who I am becoming." It's not about belief. It's about discipline. That's the key. Let's make this practical. Right now, your identity is reinforced daily by what you do and by what you avoid. Avoidance says, "I am someone who backs down." Action says, "I am someone who follows through." Your brain records both, and it believes the pattern. Here is what you must stop doing. Stop saying, "That's just how I am." That sentence locks identity in place. Stop labeling yourself with weakness, lazy, undisciplined, unfocused. Those are not traits. They are habits you repeated, and habits can be replaced. You have a choice. Here is what you must start doing. Start using identity-based action. That means you act first, and let identity catch up. You don't wait to be disciplined. You perform one disciplined action. That action becomes evidence. Evidence builds identity. Identity drives future behavior. That's the loop. That's the key. Let me say this clearly. One action won't change your life, but it can change your identity. And identity changes everything. When you act despite resistance, you send your brain a message. I am someone who acts. That message is powerful. This is why small forced actions matter more than big intentions. Waking up when you said you would. Starting on time. Finishing one task fully. Small acts. Clean signals. They don't feel impressive, but they are transformative. Because they shape identity. You don't need their permission. Not your past. Not your family. Not your old labels. You are allowed to become someone new. But becoming requires action. Not someday. Today. Here's another truth you must accept. Your brain doesn't care what you want to be. It cares what you consistently do. Doers become disciplined. Avoiders become stuck. There is no neutral. You are training something every day. You have a choice. Let's address fear. Fear often shows up when identity is threatened. If you've always been the procrastinator, acting decisively feels uncomfortable. Not because the task is hard, but because the identity shift is unfamiliar. That discomfort is a good sign. It means identity is being challenged. That's the key. Most people retreat at that moment. They say, "This doesn't feel like me." Exactly. Growth never does at first. But repetition turns unfamiliar into normal. And normal becomes identity. This is why discipline must be boring. No hype. No drama. Just repetition. What you repeat, you become. Say it again. What you repeat, you become. Here's a rule to live by. Never ask, "Do I feel like this person?" What would this person do next? Then do that. One action. That's how identity is built. Let's be very direct. You don't need to destroy your old identity. You just need to stop feeding it. Stop repeating behaviors that reinforce weakness. Stop rehearsing the story of who you were. Identity fades when it's not reinforced. And discipline accelerates the shift. Because discipline creates consistency. Consistency creates evidence. Evidence creates belief. Belief creates behavior. That's the chain. That's the key. This chapter is about responsibility, not blame. You didn't choose your starting identity, but you choose whether it stays. You have a choice. So here is your instruction. Pick one identity you want to embody. Not a vague one. Simple. Someone who starts on time. Someone who finishes what they begin. Someone who trains daily. Then perform one small action that person would do today. No negotiation. No waiting. Do it again tomorrow. Then again. Identity doesn't change overnight, but it changes inevitably with repetition. Lock this in. You don't rise to goals, you fall to identity. And identity is not discovered. It is built through discipline, through action, through repetition. You've learned how behavior is controlled. Now it's time to apply force correctly. Because knowing who you are is not enough. You must act before you feel ready. You've reshaped identity. Now it's time to move without emotion. Chapter 6. Force first, feel later. Most people are waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to feel confident. Waiting to feel motivated. And while they wait, their life stays exactly the same. Here is the truth you must accept now. Readiness is a feeling. And feelings are unreliable. That's the key. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. Your mind lies to you in a calm voice. Just a little more time. Let's prepare properly. Tomorrow will be better. Those are not plans. Those are delays. And delay is how potential dies. You have a choice. Act without readiness. Or stay stuck waiting for permission that never comes. You don't need their permission. Psychology is very clear on this. Emotion does not precede action. Action precedes emotion. Say this slowly. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates emotion. That's the order. Not emotion first. Never emotion first. The brain changes after movement, not before it. That's the key. This is why motivation appears after you start. You don't feel like working out, but once you begin, energy appears. You don't feel like focusing, but once you start, clarity follows. You don't feel confident, but once you act, confidence builds. Movement creates mood. Say it again. Movement creates mood. Waiting to feel ready is emotional procrastination. It feels responsible, but it's avoidance. Your brain is protecting comfort. Comfort wants certainty. Comfort wants safety. Comfort wants guarantees. Action offers none of that. So the brain resists. That resistance is normal. It's not a warning. It's a signal. A signal that you are about to grow. That's the key. Here is the lie you must destroy. I need to feel different before I act. You need to act differently before you feel different. Feeling follows behavior. Boys, let's be practical. Think of the last time you didn't want to do something important. Training. A difficult conversation. You felt resistance. But if you forced the first step, what happened? The resistance weakened. Because resistance is strongest before movement. Once you move, the brain recalibrates. This is called activation energy. The initial push is the hardest. After that, momentum takes over. That's physics. That's psychology. And that's why forcing the first action matters more than anything else. Most people fail here. They try to force the entire task. That feels overwhelming. So they quit. Discipline doesn't force the whole thing. Discipline forces the first move. Stand up. Open the file. Put on the shoes. Send the message. Small movement. That's the key. Once you move, you're no longer debating. And debate is where energy is lost. Weakness negotiates. Discipline executes. It's not about courage. It's about discipline. Let me say this clearly. You will never feel ready to do hard things. Readiness is a myth. People who act are not ready. They are trained. They train themselves to move without feeling good. And that training is available to you. You have a choice. Here is what you must stop doing. Stop checking your emotional state before acting. Stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" Stop respecting hesitation. Hesitation is not wisdom. It's resistance. And resistance must be overridden. Here is what you must start doing. Adopt the rule. Force first. Feel later. When something matters, you move immediately. No analysis. No preparation rituals. No mood management. Just action. This is how discipline replaces weakness. Weakness waits for emotion. Discipline ignores it. Weakness asks, "How do I feel?" Discipline asks, "What's the next action?" That's the difference. That's the key. You don't need their permission. Not your emotions. Not your fears. Not your pasts. You are allowed to act without feeling ready. In fact, that's the requirement. Let's talk about fear. Fear often disguises itself as logic. I should wait. I need more clarity. I'm not prepared. Fear wants delay. Action dissolves fear. Not thinking. Not planning. Action. Movement creates mood. The more you practice this, the faster the shift happens. At first, you force action and wait minutes for momentum. Later, seconds. Eventually, the resistance is brief. Because the brain learns. It learns that action does not kill you. And once the brain learns that, it stops fighting as hard. That's discipline conditioning. Here is a simple exercise. Today, notice the first moment of hesitation. That pause. That internal, maybe later. That is your cue. The moment you feel it, immediately. Even if the action is small. Especially if it's small. That single override builds authority. Authority over self is built in moments like that. Not in speeches. Not in promises. In action taken against resistance. Let me be direct. You don't need motivation. You don't need confidence. You don't need clarity. You need movement. And movement will give you the rest. That's the key. This chapter is not asking you to feel better. It's asking you to act differently. Because different action produces different emotion. And different emotion produces a different life. Remember this rule. Force first. Feel later. Movement creates mood. Live by it. You've now learned how to bypass emotion completely. You no longer need to wait. You no longer need to negotiate. But action alone is not enough. Because if your environment makes quitting easy, discipline will always be under attack. You've learned how to start without feeling ready. Now you must learn how to prevent yourself from stopping. You've conquered hesitation. Now it's time to control your surroundings. Chapter 7. Build friction against quitting. Most people think discipline is something you feel. It's not. Discipline is something you design. That's the key. You've already learned this truth. Willpower is weak. Environment is strong. If willpower was enough, you wouldn't be listening to this. So stop trying to win inside your head. Win around your head. Here's the psychological reality. Your brain always chooses the path of least resistance. Boys. Not the path of best intention. Not the path of long-term reward. The easiest path. That's not a flaw. That's biology. And if you don't account for it, it will control you. You have a choice. Most people design their life to make quitting easy. Phone within reach. Distractions everywhere. No rules. No structure. Then they blame themselves for lacking discipline. That's backwards. It's not about weakness. It's about environment. That's the key. Let me be clear. Environment beats willpower every time. Every time. The strongest mindset collapses in a weak environment. The average mindset thrives in a strong one. So stop asking, How do I become more disciplined? Start asking, how do I make quitting harder than continuing? Say that again. Make quitting harder than continuing. That sentence alone can change your life. Think about where you usually quit. Midway through work, during workouts, when focus drops, when discomfort shows up. Now ask yourself one brutal question. How easy is it for me to quit right now? If the answer is very easy, that's the problem, not you. Your brain quits when escape is nearby. Options create weakness. Limits create strength. That's the key. Psychology calls this choice architecture. The more choices you have, the more likely you are to choose comfort. So discipline removes choices. It doesn't debate them. Here's what disciplined people do differently. They remove distractions before they need discipline. They don't rely on self-control in the moment. They engineer resistance. Let's get practical. If your phone destroys focus, it does not belong near your work. Not on the desk. Not face down. Not on silent. Out of the room. That's not extreme. That's intelligent. You don't need your phone's permission. If junk food kills your discipline, it should not be in your house. Not hidden. Not just in case. Gone. Willpower is not a storage strategy. Environment is. That's the key. If late nights ruin your mornings, you set a non-negotiable shutdown time. Not a suggestion. A rule. Rules eliminate negotiation. And negotiation is where discipline dies. Weakness negotiates. I'll stop after one more. I'll start tomorrow. I'll just check quickly. Discipline does not negotiate. It installs barriers. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop trusting future you to be stronger than present you. Stop relying on motivation to save you. Stop leaving exits open everywhere. That's self-sabotage disguised as freedom. Here's what you must start doing. Add friction to quitting. Make the wrong choice inconvenient. Make the right choice automatic. That's how discipline actually works. Let's talk about rules. Rules are not restrictions. They are relief. They remove decision fatigue. They remove emotional debate. They create consistency. That's the key. A rule sounds like this. I do not work with my phone in the room. I do not skip 2 days in a row. I stop work at this time. I train whether I feel like it or not. Simple. Non-negotiable. Rules don't care how you feel. That's why they work. Another powerful tool is pre-commitment. You lock in behavior before emotion shows up. You schedule. You announce. You pay. You remove alternatives. Now quitting has consequences. That's friction. If quitting costs nothing, you'll quit. If quitting costs pride, money, or effort, you'll continue. Make quitting expensive. That's the key. Look at your environment right now. Is it designed for focus or distraction? For growth or comfort? Be honest. You have a choice. Most people try to fight temptation. Smart people eliminate it. Why fight a battle you can remove? That's not discipline. That's strategy. Let me say this clearly. You do not rise because of motivation. You rise because quitting becomes too inconvenient. That's real discipline. This chapter is not about becoming harsh. It's about becoming intentional. You don't need their permission to design your life around success. Not your friends. Not your habits. Not your pasts. Every improvement you want starts with one question. How can I make the right action easier and the wrong action harder? Ask it daily. Answer it honestly. Act on it aggressively. When your environment is aligned, discipline feels effortless. Not because you became stronger, but because quitting became harder. That's the key. You now understand something most people never do. Discipline is not internal strength. It's external structure. And once structure is in place, consistency becomes inevitable. But structure alone is not enough. Because even with friction, the mind will try to escape through excuses. To truly lock discipline in, you must learn how to shut down mental noise completely. You've built barriers against quitting. Now you must control the voice that wants to bypass them. You've secured the environment. Next, you master the inner dialogue. Chapter 8. Small wins rewire the brain. Most people try to change their life by making big promises, big plans, big goals, big declarations, and then they fail. Not because they are lazy, not because they are broken, but because the brain does not change through promises. The brain changes through proof. That's the key. Your brain is not inspired by what you intend to do. It is rewired by what you actually do. Repeatedly. Psychology makes this clear. Your brain runs on feedback loops. Action, reward, reinforcement. This loop is powered by dopamine. Not the pleasure chemical people talk about, the progress chemical. Dopamine spikes when your brain detects evidence that you are moving forward, not when you think about moving forward. That's the key. This is why motivation fades. Because motivation is a promise without proof. And the brain does not trust promises. It trusts patterns. Say this clearly. Proof beats promises. Say it again. Proof beats promises. Every time you complete a small action, your brain updates your identity. Not with words, with evidence. Evidence is, I do what I say. I finish. I move. That evidence builds confidence. Real confidence. Not hype. Most people try to start big. Big routines. Big habits. Big transformations. And when they miss one day, the brain records a different pattern. I quit. I fail. I don't follow through. That pattern becomes identity. You have a choice. This chapter is where discipline becomes real. Not dramatic. Not emotional. Neurological. Let's break this down. Your brain has one primary question. Based on past behavior, what is this person likely to do next? That answer determines your future behavior. That's the key. If your past behavior shows quitting, your brain expects quitting. If your past behavior shows completion, your brain expects follow-through. Expectation drives action. Action reinforces expectation. Loop complete. This is why small wins matter more than big intentions. A small win is undeniable proof. No debate. No excuse. You did it. When you force a tiny action, even when you don't feel like it, something powerful happens. The brain releases dopamine. Not because the task was fun, because it was completed. Completion rewires belief. Let me say this directly. Your brain does not care how hard the task was. It only cares that it was done. That's the key. This is where most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is suffering. It's not. Discipline is consistency of completion. Even small completion. Especially small completion. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop waiting to feel confident before acting. Stop setting goals so big they intimidate your nervous system. Stop trying to impress yourself. That's not discipline. That's ego. Here's what you must start doing. Lower the bar for action. Raise the standard for consistency. That's discipline. Instead of, I'll work out for 1 hour, the disciplined mind says, I'll do 5 minutes. No debate. Instead of, I'll write a chapter. I'll write 1 paragraph. Instead of, I'll change my life. I'll complete this 1 action today. Proof beats promises. This is not about lowering ambition. It's about building credibility with yourself. Credibility is everything. Every small win sends a message. I can be trusted. And once the brain trusts you, momentum appears. Not before. After. That's the key. Dopamine does not come from dreaming. Comes from doing. Movement creates mood. Completion creates confidence. Let's talk about neurological confidence. This is different from emotional confidence. Emotional confidence depends on mood. Neurological confidence depends on data. Your brain keeps score. If the data shows repeated follow-through, your brain becomes calm. Resistance drops. Action feels natural. This is what people call discipline. But it's really just brain alignment. If the data shows inconsistency, your brain resists future effort. It anticipates failure. So it protects you by avoiding action. That's not laziness. That's learned prediction. You don't fix this with motivation. You fix it with proof. Repeated. Unavoidable. Here is a rule you must adopt. Never miss twice. Once is human. Twice is a pattern. Patterns create identity. That's the key. Another rule. Finish something every day. Anything. A workout. A task. A page. A walk. Completion is the signal, not size. Let me be blunt. If you don't finish small things, you will never finish big things. Big things are built on small completions. Not courage. Not talent. Completion. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness seeks emotional readiness. Discipline seeks behavioral proof. It's not about fear. It's about discipline. You don't need their permission to start small. You don't need validation for tiny actions. Your brain is watching. That's enough. Most people quit because they feel behind. Small wins eliminate that feeling. Progress feels real. Momentum becomes addictive. This is how habits actually form. Not through intensity, through repetition. Every small win strengthens the neural pathway. Like laying one brick. You don't see the building yet, but the structure is forming. That's the key. Let's get practical. For the next 7 days, you commit to actions so small. They feel almost laughable, but you do them every day. No negotiation. No emotion. Just execution. You track completion. Not effort. Not mood. Completion. Your brain responds to evidence. After a week, something shifts. Resistance lowers. Confidence rises. Identity adjusts. Not because you tried harder, because you proved consistency. Say it again. Proof beats promises. This chapter is not exciting. It's effective. This is how people actually change. Quietly. Relentlessly. One small win at a time. You now understand how discipline is built. At the neurological level. Not through hype. Through evidence. But there is one more threat. Even with small wins, the mind tries to sabotage progress. Through overthinking and noise. To protect your momentum, you must learn when to stop thinking entirely. You've learned to win small. Next, you learn to go quiet. You've built proof. Now you protect it. Silence the inner negotiator. You have a choice. Right now, in this moment, your mind is talking to you. It is negotiating. It whispers excuses. It tells you why today isn't the day. It reminds you of comfort, of ease, of the warm, soft place you've grown accustomed to. And if you listen, if you negotiate with it, you lose. Every time. The inner negotiator is subtle. It is patient. It is quiet but persistent. It will not shout. It will not demand. It will offer suggestions. Rest a little longer. Skip this task. Start tomorrow. Maybe this isn't for you. And just like that, a day goes by. A week goes by. A month goes by. Your goals remain untouched. Your potential untapped. You have a choice. You can obey the negotiator, or you can silence it. That's the key. Understanding the inner negotiator. The inner negotiator is not a friend. It is not your conscience. It is the part of your mind that wants comfort, security, and avoidance. It will rationalize every decision that moves you away from growth. It is not evil. It is natural. It is human. But human does not mean optimal. Human does not mean capable of greatness. It simply means it exists, and you must control it. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired today. I don't feel ready"? Every one of those statements is the negotiator at work. It hides behind logic. It hides behind reason. But you know the truth. Deep down, you know you can act today. You know you are capable. And yet you stall. You delay. You compromise. That is the negotiator. It thrives on indecision. It thrives on hesitation. It thrives on weakness disguised as thoughtfulness. You have a choice. You can negotiate with it, or you can dominate it. The cost of negotiation. When you allow negotiation to run your life, you pay. You pay with wasted time. You pay with lost opportunities. You pay with self-respect. Every excuse you accept chips away at your confidence. Every delay reinforces the belief that you are not capable. Let me be clear, hesitation is expensive, and the price is higher than you think. The inner negotiator promises safety, comfort, and avoidance. In exchange, it robs you of results. Every time you delay action, you strengthen the habit of weakness. You tell your brain, "This is okay. I can wait." And your brain agrees. Your mind is a record keeper. It notices. It learns. It adapts. If you negotiate today, tomorrow's excuses will be easier to accept. And the next day, impossible to resist. You have a choice. Do not forget that. Every decision matters. Small wins silence the noise. The way to silence the negotiator is not through argument. It is not through reasoning. It is through action. Start small. Win small. Win consistently. The human brain responds to victories. It responds to achievement. It does not respond to rhetoric. It does not respond to willpower alone. It responds to proof. If your inner negotiator tells you, "You can't do this," respond with action. Do the thing anyway. Even if it is uncomfortable. Even if it feels impossible. Even if your body protests. Every small win is a blow to the negotiator. Every victory, no matter how minor, proves that it is not in charge. That's the key. The key is consistent action. Small, deliberate, non-negotiable action. Practical steps to silence the negotiator. Let's get practical. Here's how you take control. Set non-negotiable tasks. Not, "I'll try." Not, "If I feel like it." Absolute, non-negotiable tasks. I will write 500 words today. I will train for 30 minutes today. Make it clear. Make it unavoidable. Create immediate accountability. Tell someone. Track it publicly. The negotiator fears exposure. It fears the consequences of inaction. Use time pressure. Deadlines crush negotiation. When the clock is ticking, excuses vanish. You act. You move. You deliver. Start before you feel ready. Readiness is a trap. The negotiator loves, "I'll start when I'm ready." The truth? You are never ready. Growth always begins in discomfort. Break tasks into micro-actions. Overwhelm fuels negotiation. Reduce the task to one small step. Focus only on that step. Then take the next, Momentum silences hesitation. Celebrate silently, then move to the next task. Recognition is not optional. Reward yourself mentally. Then return to action. Don't linger in self-praise. The negotiator will use it to distract you from what's next. Rewiring the brain through discipline. You may think you need motivation. You do not. Motivation is a fleeting chemical in the brain. It comes and goes. Discipline lasts. Discipline builds muscle. Mental muscle. Emotional resilience. Strategic focus. The negotiator can overpower motivation. It cannot overpower discipline. Discipline is simple. Do what must be done, even when you do not want to. That's it. Nothing fancy. Nothing heroic. Just action, repeated until it becomes habit. When you act despite resistance, you rewire your brain. Neural pathways form. Action becomes instinct. Resistance becomes irrelevant. The negotiator loses its voice. You stop debating. You stop asking permission. You simply act. It's not about strength. It's about consistency. Not about willpower. It's about choice. And every time you choose action, the choice becomes easier next time. You have a choice. You must make it daily. Stop negotiating with life. Think about it. Every time you negotiate with yourself, you negotiate with life. Life does not negotiate. Opportunities do not wait. People do not care. The world does not pause for your comfort. And yet you hesitate. You stall. You compromise. No more. Decide now that negotiation ends here. Decide that your standards are non-negotiable. Decide that discomfort is the path, not the enemy. Decide that action, no matter how small, trumps hesitation every time. You have a choice. Take it. Common pitfalls. Even when you commit, the negotiator finds new tactics. Watch for these traps. Rationalization, I deserve a break. Truth, you deserve progress more. Perfectionism, I'll wait until it's perfect. Truth, perfection is a liar. Progress is real. Comparison, I'm not as far as others. Truth, comparison fuels hesitation. Focus only on your steps. Recognize these tactics. Call them out. Name them. Then act anyway. Silence comes only through action. Mental exercises to train resistance. 5-second rule. When hesitation appears, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act. No negotiation. No discussion. Action. Visualize the consequences. Imagine letting the negotiator win. See the lost opportunities. Feel the frustration. Let it fuel action. Anchor to a higher standard. Remind yourself why you started. Your goals. Your life. Your potential. The negotiator has no claim over your purpose. Repetition as a weapon. Choose one action per day to practice relentlessly. The more you repeat, the weaker the negotiator becomes. The transformational truth. Here is the hard truth. The inner negotiator will never stop. It will never disappear. You cannot reason it away. You cannot outsmart it indefinitely. But you can dominate it. You can override it. You can silence it. Every choice. Every action. Every small win. That's the pathway. That's the method. And when you do, life becomes simpler. Focus becomes sharper. Results become inevitable. You don't need permission. You don't need external validation. You need discipline. And that discipline begins with silencing the voice inside that wants to bargain, delay, and excuse. Closing the chapter. So here is your challenge. Today, identify one area where your inner negotiator is active. One area where hesitation holds you back. One area where you've been compromising your potential. Then act immediately, without negotiation, without delay. without permission. You have a choice. You always have a choice. And this is the moment to make it count. Silence the inner negotiator. Build momentum. Take control. Prove to yourself that action is the only language that matters. That's the key. You've confronted hesitation. You've begun to master the voice inside that wants comfort over growth. Now it's time to understand the true currency of your life. How to act while uncomfortable, consistently, without compromise. Chapter 9. Learn to act while uncomfortable. Most people are not failing because they are incapable. They are failing because they are uncomfortable. And they have confused discomfort with danger. That's the key. Your brain is extremely good at one thing: avoiding discomfort, not avoiding failure, not avoiding regret, avoiding feeling bad in the moment. Understand this clearly. Discomfort is not danger. Say it again. Discomfort is not danger. Your nervous system reacts to boredom, fear, resistance, and uncertainty, as if something is wrong. Heart rate changes. Thoughts race. Excuses appear. The brain says, stop. Not because you're in danger, because you're outside the comfort zone it knows. This is ancient wiring. Thousands of years ago, discomfort often meant death, cold, hunger, isolation. So the brain learned one rule: stay comfortable, stay alive. But you don't live in that world anymore. And your brain hasn't updated the software. That's the problem. Modern discomfort is not lethal. It's emotional. Boredom, awkwardness, effort, fear of judgment. None of these can kill you, but your brain reacts as if they can. You have a choice. Obey the signal, or override it. That's the key. High performers are not more motivated. They are more tolerant. They tolerate discomfort longer than others. That's it. They feel the same resistance you feel. They feel boredom. They feel fear. They feel the urge to quit. They just don't let those feelings decide their actions. This chapter is about building emotional tolerance, the ability to act while your body says stop. Psychology calls this exposure. When you repeatedly face a stimulus, without escaping it, the brain learns something powerful. This is safe. And when the brain learns it's safe, the discomfort loses intensity. That's the key. Avoidance strengthens fear. Exposure weakens it. Every time. When you avoid discomfort, you teach your brain, this is dangerous. When you stay inside discomfort, you teach your brain, I can handle this. Proof beats promises. Let me say this directly. If you only act when you feel good, you will live a small life. If you act while uncomfortable, your life expands. This is where discipline replaces weakness. Weakness obeys emotion. Discipline observes emotion and acts anyway. It's not about fear. It's about discipline. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop waiting for discomfort to disappear. Stop negotiating with resistance. Stop asking, do I feel like it? That question ruins lives. Here's what you must start doing. Act with discomfort present. Let it sit. Let it burn. Let it exist without obeying it. This is not aggression. It's calm defiance. Boredom. Most people quit tasks not because they are hard, but because they are boring. Boredom is not pain. It's the absence of stimulation. And your brain hates that. So it creates urgency. It reaches for dopamine. Food, noise. Anything but stillness. When you stay with boredom, something interesting happens. The mind quiets. Focus deepens. Work becomes easier, but only after you tolerate boredom. Fear is just uncertainty plus imagination. Your brain fills in worst-case scenarios. Most of them never happen, but avoidance makes fear feel real. Exposure dissolves fear. Not thinking. Not affirmations. Action. Resistance. That heavy feeling before starting. That weight in the chest. That voice that says, later. That is not a signal to stop. That is a signal you are about to grow. That's the key. Say it clearly. Discomfort is not danger. Here is a simple rule. When discomfort appears, you slow down your breathing and speed up your execution. No debate. You don't need their permission to feel uncomfortable. You don't need approval to feel awkward, bored, or afraid. These feelings are part of growth. Let's make this practical. Pick one task you avoid daily. Not huge, just uncomfortable. And commit to doing it without trying to feel better first. No music to hype you up. No motivation video. No delay. Just action. You will feel tension. Breathe. Your brain will protest. Let it. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who acts. That's the key. Each time you act while uncomfortable, your tolerance increases. Just like a muscle. What once felt unbearable becomes neutral. What felt neutral becomes easy. This is how confidence is actually built. Not by success, by surviving discomfort without quitting. Most people think confidence comes first. It doesn't. Confidence is the result of repeated discomfort endured. Say this. I can feel this and still act. Say it again. I can feel this and still act. This one sentence destroys procrastination. Because procrastination is not time management. It's discomfort avoidance. When you stop running from discomfort, you remove procrastination at the root. That's the key. Let me be blunt. Your future depends on what you do. In moments that feel uncomfortable. Not dramatic moments. Ordinary ones. The uncomfortable conversation. The boring workout. The quiet work session. The lonely discipline. That's where lives are decided. This is not about becoming fearless. Fearless people don't exist. This is about becoming fear-capable. You act with fear present. You work with boredom present. You show up with resistance present. That is strength. Each time you do this, your identity shifts. From I avoid to I endure. From I quit to I continue. What you repeat, you become. Now understand this. Comfort is not neutral. Comfort is training. You are always training something. Either tolerance or fragility. If you constantly escape discomfort, you train fragility. Life feels harder. Resistance feels heavier. If you stay with discomfort, you train resilience. Life feels lighter. Work feels simpler. You have a choice. This chapter locks in a critical truth. Discomfort is the price of progress. Avoidance is the price of regret. You now know how to act, even when your emotions resist. But there is one more challenge. Consistency over time. Doing this once is easy. Doing it daily requires structure. You've learned to move through discomfort. Now you must learn to design your days. So discipline becomes automatic. You've built tolerance. Now you build systems. Stop thinking, start executing. You have a choice. Right now, your mind is busy. It is spinning, analyzing, overthinking. It is imagining obstacles, weighing options, considering every what if before you even take a single step. And in that spinning, that endless thinking, nothing happens. That is the trap. The trap of thought without action. The trap of preparation without execution. The trap of analysis disguised as strategy. You have a choice. You can stay trapped in your thoughts. Or you can act. That's the key. The problem with overthinking. Overthinking feels productive. It feels intelligent. It feels safe. But it is none of those things. Overthinking is procrastination in disguise. It is hesitation packaged as planning. It is fear wrapped in rationality. How many times have you said, "I need more time. I have to plan it perfectly. I don't want to make a mistake." And while you plan, life moves on. Opportunities disappear. Momentum is lost. Confidence erodes. The human brain is wired to avoid pain, to avoid failure, to avoid discomfort. That wiring is normal. That wiring is biological. That wiring is also lethal to your goals if you do not override it. You have a choice. You can let your wiring decide, or you can execute anyway. Action creates clarity. Here is the truth. Clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes during action. You may think you need to think more, plan more, prepare more. You are wrong. Action reveals what thinking never will. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need perfect information. You do not need a perfect plan. You need one thing: movement. Forward movement. Action is the teacher. Action is the proof. Action is the signal to your brain that you are serious, that hesitation is over, that results are non-negotiable. Every second you spend thinking instead of doing strengthens your hesitation. Every delay trains your mind to wait. Every overanalyzed option is a brick in the wall of inaction. You have a choice. That's the key. Stop doing these things. If you want to start executing, you must first stop sabotaging yourself. Stop doing these things. Stop seeking perfect conditions. Perfect never exists. Waiting for perfect is a lie. Action trumps preparation every time. Stop obsessing over outcomes. Outcomes are a result, not a prerequisite. Focus on input. Focus on the work. Focus on execution. Stop overanalyzing every decision. Overanalysis is paralysis. Decide fast. Adjust as you go. Learn in real time. Stop fearing mistakes. Mistakes are information. Mistakes are progress. Mistakes are proof you are moving. Every one of these habits strengthens hesitation. Every one of these habits strengthens the negotiator in your mind. Every one of these habits steals your potential. You have a choice. Stop them today. Start doing these things. And then, start executing. Start doing. Start moving. Commit to action daily. Pick one task, one step, one thing you will complete today without delay. Non-negotiable. Done. No excuses. Use the 5-second rule. Hesitation appears? Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, act. Immediate action silences doubt. Immediate action builds courage. Immediate action proves to yourself that you are capable. Break tasks into micro-actions. Small steps are unstoppable. One step leads to the next. Momentum grows. Hesitation dies. Anchor to purpose. Remind yourself why you started. Let purpose fuel execution. Fear fades in the light of clarity. Accept imperfection. Done is better than perfect. Done teaches. Done grows results. Perfect delays. Perfect paralyzes. Review, then iterate. Execute first. Learn second. Adjust third. Action always comes before refinement. Discipline beats motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration is temporary. Feeling ready is a trap. Discipline is forever. Discipline moves you even when you feel tired, distracted, or scared. Discipline allows action when hesitation whispers. Discipline ensures momentum. Execution is not about enthusiasm. It is not about excitement. It is not about mood. It is about commitment. Every time you act despite hesitation, you strengthen your brain. You build confidence. You build courage. You build results. You have a choice. Execute or remain stagnant. That's the key. The psychology of execution. Here is what most people never understand. The mind fears action because action brings accountability. Action reveals your weaknesses. Action exposes your limitations. Action forces responsibility. That fear is natural. But fear is not permanent. Fear is a signal. Fear is information. Fear tells you where growth exists. The more you execute, the less fear controls you. The more you act, the less hesitation dominates your thoughts. The more you do, the clearer life becomes. Overthinking is fear in disguise. Execution is courage in action. The difference between stagnation and progress is not intelligence. It is willingness to do, to risk, to move forward. You have a choice. Move forward. That's the key. Build momentum with small wins. Momentum is your greatest ally. It is the invisible force that carries you when motivation fades. Start small. Win consistently. One completed task leads to the next. One step taken leads to another. Momentum silences doubt. Momentum builds confidence. Momentum guarantees progress. Do not underestimate small wins. They are the proof your brain needs. They are the ammunition against hesitation. They are the foundation of unstoppable execution. You have a choice. Begin now. That's the key. Common excuses and how to overcome them. Even when you commit, your mind will resist. Recognize these excuses. I don't have enough time. Truth. You have exactly the same 24 hours as everyone else. Use them wisely. I'm too tired. Truth. Action generates energy. Hesitation drains it. Move anyway. I'll fail if I act. Truth. Inaction guarantees failure. Risk creates growth. Act anyway. I need to wait until I feel ready. Truth. You are never ready. Growth begins in discomfort. Start anyway. Call out these excuses. Name them. Ignore them. Act anyway. Execution silences the mind's bargaining. Execution overrides doubt. Execution builds results. You have a choice. Act anyway. That's the key. Practical exercise. Action today. Take one action today you have been avoiding. No thinking. No planning. No delay. Write it down. Commit to it. Complete it by the end of the day. Notice how your mind protests. Notice the excuses. Notice the fear. And do it anyway. Execution is a habit. Repetition creates automaticity. Hesitation weakens. Courage strengthens. Discipline becomes instinct. You have a choice. Act today. That's the key. Repetition and reinforcement. You must repeat this daily. Execution is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle. You have a choice every morning. You have a choice every minute. You have a choice every task. And every time you choose action, you train your mind. You prove to yourself you are capable. You reinforce discipline over doubt. Remember, you don't need their permission. You don't need the world to agree. You don't need to feel ready. You need one thing: action. Immediate, relentless, consistent action. You have a choice. That choice defines your life. That's the key. Closing the chapter. So here is the truth. Overthinking kills more dreams than failure ever will. Hesitation consumes more opportunity than rejection ever can. Planning without execution is nothing but an illusion of progress. Execution is the antidote. Action is the weapon. Momentum is the result. Today you commit. You stop thinking. You start executing. You take one step, then the next, then another, until hesitation is powerless, until doubt is irrelevant, until results are inevitable. You have a choice. Take it. Make it count. Silence hesitation with relentless action. Prove to yourself that execution, not thought, is the language of success. You've taken the first step toward unstoppable momentum. You've begun to act where others hesitate. Now it's time to understand the standards that keep you moving every single day, no matter what. Chapter 10: Consistency beats intensity. Most people don't fail because they lack effort. They fail because their effort is chaotic. Explosive one day, invisible the next. That's the problem. You were taught to admire intensity, all-nighters, extreme motivation, sudden transformations. But intensity is emotional, and emotion is unstable. That's the key. Consistency is boring. Consistency is quiet. Consistency doesn't feel heroic. But consistency wins. Every time. Let's destroy the lie first. The lie is this: if I can't do it perfectly, I shouldn't do it at all. That mindset has ended more dreams than laziness ever did. All or nothing thinking is not ambition. It's avoidance disguised as standards. Say it again. All or nothing is avoidance. When you wait for the perfect day, the perfect mood, the perfect plan, you are not preparing. You are stalling. You have a choice. Act imperfectly, or stay stuck perfectly. That's the key. Psychology is clear on this. The brain learns through repetition, not explosions. Neural pathways strengthen through frequency, not intensity. One extreme workout doesn't build fitness. Daily moderate movement does. One long study session doesn't build mastery. Daily focused practice does. Consistency trains identity. Intensity only impresses ego. Here's what most people do. They push hard. They burn bright. They miss one day. Then they quit entirely. That's weakness. Not physical. Mental. Because they attached their identity to streaks instead of standards. This chapter gives you a rule that eliminates this problem. Remember it. Never miss twice. That's it. That's the system. Missing once is human. Missing twice is a decision. Never miss twice. You don't need their permission to show up imperfectly. You don't need approval to do less than ideal work. Progress doesn't care about your pride. Let's be practical. You plan to work out. You miss today. Fine. Tomorrow is mandatory. No debate. Never miss twice. You plan to write. You skip today. Tomorrow is locked. Never miss twice. This rule removes drama. No guilt spirals. No self-hate. Just action. Most people think discipline means being perfect. Wrong. Discipline means returning quickly. That's the key. Consistency is not about doing more. It's about doing again. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop relying on motivation spikes. Stop planning extreme schedules. Stop quitting because you broke the streak. Here's what you must start doing. Lower the bar for daily action. Raise the standard for showing up. It's not about intensity. It's about discipline. A disciplined person asks one question. What is the minimum I will do no matter what? And then they do it. Every day. That minimum becomes automatic. Automatic beats motivated. You don't need to feel inspired to brush your teeth. You don't negotiate with emotion. You just do it. That's the level consistency must reach. Consistency turns actions into identity. I am someone who shows up. But I am someone who tries when motivated. That identity is powerful. Because identity drives behavior. This is why daily effort wins. Even when it's small. Especially when it's small. Small actions remove resistance. They reduce friction. They keep momentum alive. Momentum is fragile. Intensity shatters it. Consistency protects it. Here's the truth most people hate. Slow progress is fast progress. Because it compounds. Missing once doesn't break momentum. Missing twice does. Never miss twice. Say it again. Never miss twice. You will feel the urge to overdo it, to compensate, to punish yourself. Don't. That's emotional thinking. Discipline is calm. It doesn't overreact. It simply returns to the standard. That's how professionals operate. Not emotionally. Systematically. You have a choice. Chase intensity or build consistency. One impresses people. The other changes your life. Let's talk about time. Most people say they don't have time. They do. They just don't protect it. Consistency requires boundaries. Same time, same place, same trigger. Not forever. Just long enough to make it automatic. When behavior becomes automatic, willpower becomes irrelevant. That's the key. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. And systems are built with consistency. Understand this. A weak day done consistently beats a strong day done rarely. Every outcome proves this. Fitness, money, relationships, self-respect, all are built the same way. Daily effort. The ego wants breakthroughs. Life rewards basics done repeatedly. This chapter locks in one truth. Consistency is not exciting. It's effective. You don't need to do more. You need to quit less. From now on, you will stop judging days as good or bad. You will judge them as done or not done. Done wins. Boys. You've learned to tolerate discomfort. Now you've learned to stay consistent. But consistency requires clarity. Clear rules. Clear standards. Clear self-talk. You've stabilized action. Now it's time to remove internal noise. The voice that distracts. The voice that explains. The voice that leaks energy. You've built movement. Now you build silence. Create non-negotiable standards. You have a choice. Every day, your life is shaped by decisions. Big ones. Small ones. Visible ones. Invisible ones. Some you consciously make. Others you drift into. The problem is this. Most people have standards. They just are negotiable. Flexible. Optional. Conditional. That is the difference between ordinary results and extraordinary results. Between hesitation and certainty. Between excuses and excellence. You have a choice. Decide now, your standards are non-negotiable. That's the key. What non-negotiable standards really mean? Non-negotiable standards are not rules you sometimes follow. They are commitments you cannot bend, twist, or ignore. It's not about intensity. You don't need to work 18 hours a day. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion every single time. It's about consistency. Discipline over desire. Habit over mood. Action over negotiation. Non-negotiable standards tell your brain what is expected every day without compromise. They create structure. They create results. Without standards, action is random. Without standards, momentum collapses. Without standards, the negotiator wins. You have a choice. Set your standards. Protect them. Live by them. The cost of negotiable standards. Let me be clear. Negotiable standards cost more than you think. When your standards are optional, so is your effort. When your standards are weak, so is your discipline. When your standards bend, so does your integrity. The cost is measured in lost potential. Lost opportunities. Lost respect. You think missing one workout is harmless? One skip task doesn't matter? One compromise won't hurt? It does. Every compromise trains your brain to accept less than your best. Every leniency signals that mediocrity is acceptable. Every waiver reinforces weakness. You have a choice. You can tolerate inconsistency, or you can refuse it. That's the key. Stop doing these things. To create non-negotiable standards, you must first stop doing the things that weaken them. Stop bending the rules for comfort. Comfort is a lie your brain tells you. Action is the truth. Stop negotiating with yourself. I'll start tomorrow. I'll just skip today. It's okay, I'll catch up later. But all of them. Stop relying on motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Standards are reliable. Stop comparing your effort to others. Standards are personal. Comparison undermines them. Every one of these behaviors sabotages your standards. Every compromise erodes your discipline. Every exception strengthens hesitation. You have a choice. Stop them today. That's the key. Start doing these things. And then, start building standards that cannot be broken. Define your core standards. These are non-negotiable actions tied to your goals. Fitness. Learning. Integrity. Identify them. Write them down. Commit. Commit to daily consistency. Not when I feel like it. Not if I have time. Non-negotiable. Just daily. Anchor standards to identity. Standards are not chores. They are a reflection of who you are. I am someone who does X every day. That mindset eliminates negotiation. Use small wins to reinforce them. Action builds momentum. Momentum strengthens habit. Habit enforces standards. Repeat. Daily. Protect your standards fiercely. Guard them from distraction, temptation, and compromise. Do not rationalize exceptions. Exceptions erode standards faster than failure itself. Track and measure adherence. Accountability creates permanence. Checklists, journals, reminders. Visibility keeps standards alive. You have a choice. Start building these standards now. That's the key. Why standards trump intensity? Most people think results come from bursts of energy, periods of high intensity. They are wrong. Intensity fades. Motivation fluctuates. Willpower depletes. Consistency never fails. Standards enforce consistency. They make action habitual, even when desire is absent. Non-negotiable standards are the engine behind discipline. They remove the need for constant thought, debate, or negotiation. You act because it is what you do. Not because you feel like it. Not because it's convenient. That's the key. Psychological analysis. The mind loves boundaries. Here is what most people do not realize. The brain craves boundaries. When rules are negotiable, the brain hesitates. Doubt creeps in. Anxiety rises. Energy is wasted deciding whether to act. When rules are non-negotiable, hesitation disappears. Energy is focused. Decisions are automatic. Momentum accelerates. Results compound. Your mind is a machine. Standards are the wiring. Without wiring, the machine malfunctions. With wiring, it hums. You have a choice. Wire your brain for excellence. That's the key. Common pitfalls when establishing standards. Even when you commit, the negotiator will test you. I deserve a break. Truth, you deserve progress more than comfort. Act anyway. I can skip today, I'll catch up later. Truth, catch up is an illusion. Every skip day weakens standards. This is too hard right now. Truth, difficulty is the proving ground. Standards exist to enforce action in hardship. Recognize the test. Pass it. Standards are only meaningful when followed under resistance. You have a choice. Pass the test. That's the key. Practical exercise. Build your standards. Take a moment. Write down 3 to 5 non-negotiable standards. These are daily actions tied to your most important goals. Examples: exercise for 30 minutes daily. Write 500 words daily. Read 20 pages daily. Respond to all priority work emails daily. Meditate or reflect for 10 minutes daily. These are your non-negotiables. No excuses. No exceptions. Next, schedule them. Fix them in your day. Protect them. Track them. Enforce them. Momentum grows. Confidence builds. Hesitation dies. Execution becomes natural. Discipline becomes automatic. You have a choice. Create your standards. That's the key. Repetition and reinforcement. Non-negotiable standards are not a one-time effort. They are a daily commitment. Every morning ask, what are my standards today? Am I following them without compromise? Every evening review, did I honor my standards? Where did I hesitate? Where did I compromise? Repeat daily. Reinforce relentlessly. Train your brain to act without debate. Train your mind to move without negotiation. Train your life to produce results without excuses. You have a choice. Repeat daily. That's the key. The transformational truth. Non-negotiable standards transform your life. They remove doubt. They silence hesitation. They crush excuses. They create unstoppable momentum. The world will try to distract you. The negotiator will whisper in your ear. Life will test your commitment. And that is good, because standards are proven only under pressure. When you honor them despite difficulty, despite fatigue, despite temptation, you build discipline. You build character. You build results. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval. You don't need motivation. You need one thing: unwavering standards. You have a choice. That choice defines your life. That's the key. Closing the chapter. So here is your challenge. Identify your top non-negotiable standards today. Commit to them fully. Protect them fiercely. Act daily. No excuses. No negotiation. Every compromise weakens you. Every consistent day strengthens you. Every day you honor your standards, your life changes. Not tomorrow. Today. You have a choice. Exercise it. Make your standards unbreakable. Make your discipline undeniable. Make your life non-negotiable. You've learned to act where hesitation dominates. You've learned to execute instead of thinking endlessly. Now it's time to lock in habits that define excellence for life, so that every decision, every action, every day becomes a reflection of your discipline. Chapter 11. Silence the inner negotiator. There is a voice in your head that drains more energy than any task. It argues. It explains. It bargains. And it keeps you stuck. That voice is the inner negotiator. The inner negotiator does not want what's best for you. It wants comfort. It wants escape. It wants relief. That's the key. Every time you plan to act, the negotiator appears. Later. Tomorrow. After one more break. You deserve rest. It sounds reasonable. It is not. This voice feels intelligent. It uses logic. It uses emotion. But its function is simple. Delay action. Understand this clearly. Mental debate is not thinking. It is energy leakage. Each argument costs focus. Each justification costs willpower. Each delay weakens resolve. By the time you decide, you are already tired. That's the trap. You don't fail because the task is hard. You fail because you argued with yourself for too long. High performers do not negotiate. They decide once. Then they execute daily. Say it. Decide once. Execute daily. That's the key. Psychology explains why this works. Every decision taxes the prefrontal cortex. The more choices you allow, the weaker your follow-through. When you leave actions undecided, your brain keeps revisiting them. That creates friction. Friction leads to fatigue. Fatigue leads to quitting. Silencing the negotiator removes friction. No debate. No discussion. Just action. You have a choice. Argue with your mind. Or command it. Most people think command-based self-talk is harsh. It's not. It's efficient. Children need explanations. Adults need standards. Command-based self-talk is simple. Non-emotional. I do this now. I start at 6. I don't negotiate. That's it. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop asking yourself how you feel. Stop checking readiness. Stop entertaining internal discussions. Those questions weaken you. They invite the negotiator in. Here's what you must start doing. Give yourself clear commands. Then move your body. Action silences thought. Movement ends debate. That's the key. When you stand up and begin, the negotiator loses power. It only exists before action. Let's be practical. Choose one daily behavior. Exercise. Writing. Studying. Set a fixed time. Same time. Every day. Once decided, never revisit the decision. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not when tired. Decide once. Execute daily. You don't need their permission to live by commands. You don't need approval to remove flexibility. Flexibility is overrated. Structure creates freedom. The inner negotiator hates structure because structure removes choice, and choice is where it lives. When there is no choice, there is no debate. Most people want freedom, but they confuse freedom with options. Options create paralysis. Standards create progress. Let me say this plainly. Your life improves when you remove unnecessary decisions. Same wake-up time. Same work block. Same rules. You don't negotiate brushing your teeth. You don't debate getting dressed. You just do it. That's the model. Bring that energy to the actions that matter. This is how discipline replaces weakness. Weakness asks. Discipline commands. Weakness says, how do I feel? Discipline says, what's the standard? Standards don't argue. They execute. Here's another truth. The negotiator gets louder when you are tired. That's why discipline must be automatic. When energy drops, systems must carry you. Command-based self-talk works because it bypasses emotion. Emotion wants relief. Command wants results. You are not your thoughts. You are the authority over them. Say this. I don't negotiate with myself. Say it again. I don't negotiate with myself. That sentence changes behavior. At first, the negotiator will resist. It will escalate. That's normal. Stay calm. Repeat the command. Over time, the voice weakens because it learns something. This doesn't work anymore. The brain adapts to rules, not intentions. Let's address a common mistake. People think silencing the negotiator means becoming robotic. It doesn't. You still feel emotion. You just don't obey it. Emotion becomes information, not instruction. That's the key. You feel tired. You act anyway. You feel bored. You continue. That is self-respect. Every time you follow a command, you build trust with yourself. Broken promises destroy confidence. Kept commands build it. Confidence is not belief. It's evidence. Evidence comes from execution. Decide once. Execute daily. Let's lock this in. When the inner negotiator appears, you do not fight it. You ignore it. The tension feeds it. Action starves it. This chapter removes the final internal barrier. Of tolerance for discomfort, consistency through standards, silence inside your mind. But discipline is not just what you do. It's who you become. Your actions have been changing. Now your identity must catch up. You've stopped waiting. You've stopped negotiating. You've started executing. Now it's time to claim the identity that matches your behavior. You've silenced the voice. Now you step into the role. Chapter 12. Become the person who does hard things. Everything you have learned so far leads here. This chapter is not about techniques anymore. It is about identity. Because behavior does not change permanently until identity changes. That's the key. You do not rise to goals. You fall to identity. Say it again. You fall to identity. Most people keep trying to do disciplined things, while secretly believing they are undisciplined people. That creates friction. That creates relapse. That creates exhaustion. The strongest shift happens when the sentence changes from, "I'm trying to be disciplined," to, "This is who I am now." Identity is the operating system. Habits are just the apps. Change the system, and the apps update automatically. Let's be clear. You do not need more willpower. You need a new self-definition. Psychology confirms this. Human beings are consistency machines. We act in ways that match who we believe we are. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you will find reasons to quit. If you see yourself as someone who endures, you will endure. You have a choice. Keep describing yourself by your past, or define yourself by your standards. That's the key. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. Say it again. Discipline is self-respect in action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your identity strengthens. Every time you break one, it weakens. This is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Here's what you must stop doing. Stop saying, "I'm just not that type of person." Stop labeling yourself as lazy, unmotivated, inconsistent. Those labels are instructions. Here's what you must start doing. Define yourself by behavior you repeat, not by feelings, not by excuses. If you work when it's uncomfortable, you are disciplined. If you return after missing a day, you are consistent. If you act without negotiation, you are in control. This is who you are now. Identity is built through evidence, not affirmations. You don't wake up one day and suddenly believe. You act. Then the brain updates the story. That's why action always comes first. Each hard thing you do becomes proof. Proof beats promises, and proof compounds. Let's make this practical. Choose 3 identity statements, not fantasies. Standards. I am someone who shows up daily. I am someone who finishes what I start. I am someone who does hard things without drama. Then back them up with behavior. Daily. Relentless. You don't need their permission to change who you are. You don't need approval to outgrow your old identity. Some people will resist your change. That's normal. Your growth disrupts their comfort. Do not explain. Do not argue. Execute. The old version of you will protest. That's expected. Identity change feels like loss. Loss of comfort. Loss of excuses. Loss of familiar weakness. Let it go. You are not betraying yourself. You are upgrading. This chapter locks in the final shift. Discipline is no longer something you do. It is something you are. When discipline becomes identity, everything simplifies. You don't ask, "Should I?" What does someone like me do? And then you do it. You feel resistance. You act anyway. This is who I am now. You feel tired. You continue. This is who I am now. You miss a day. You return the next. This is who I am now. Notice the calm in that statement. No hype. No aggression. Just certainty. Certainty is powerful. This is how discipline replaces weakness. Weakness needs emotion. Discipline needs identity. Your environment will eventually adapt. Your mind will quiet. Your standards will feel normal. What once felt hard will feel expected. That is mastery. Let's reflect. You stopped waiting for motivation. You understood your brain. You trained discipline as a skill. You faced discomfort. You stayed consistent. You silenced negotiation. Now you stand here as someone new. Not perfect, but reliable. Reliable beats talented. Reliable beats motivated. Reliable beats inspired. The world does not reward potential. It rewards execution. Execution flows naturally. From identity. Say it clearly. This is who I am now. Say it again. This is who I am now. This sentence is not hope. It is a declaration. From this moment forward, you do not ask if you can do hard things. You already know the answer. You do them. You have a choice. Return to comfort, or live as the person you've built. One choice keeps you familiar. The other makes you formidable. Choose deliberately. Then act consistently. This audiobook ends here. But your standards do not. Hard things will keep appearing. But that's where you belong. You are no longer becoming disciplined. You are disciplined. This is who you are now. You now understand the truth most people never accept. Hard things are not done by motivation. They are done by command. Your mind will always ask for comfort. Your future demands control. Every time you act despite resistance, you become stronger than your excuses. Every time you avoid, you teach your mind that quitting is acceptable. From this moment forward, do not wait to feel ready. Do not negotiate with discomfort. Do not trust emotion. Choose one hard thing today, and do it immediately, because the person who can force themselves to act will always outperform the person who waits. This audiobook ends here, but your execution starts now.